On our 2022 sojourn in South Florida, Chuck, Joanne, and I made the 15-mile trip from the Sand Dunes Resort up to Blowing Rocks Preserve. Chuck driving. It's the 17th of February. Chuck just came today. This is the afternoon. And we're going to look at the Blowing Rocks Reservation. We just tried to make a $2 donation. We're on the lee side of the dunes here. This is called a hammock. Looks like a jungle. Well, we came to see the blowing rocks, but this is low tide, so we're not really very expectant. Another visitor explains what we're supposed to see.
Those are the rocks. Go down there. The water shoots up from underneath the earth in a lot of them.
It isn't high tide, so the waves aren't coming close to crashing into those rocks. But there's fun to be had, and here's Chuck playing football with a coconut. He tells me he wants to put it back to sea where it can float away and propagate itself someplace else, perhaps the Bahamas. This little cliff is made of a composite of sand and shells compacted over the centuries into a rough and jagged limestone, forming a barrier to the sea. In 1969, a landowner held off developers by donating 73 acres of Juneau Island to the Nature Conservancy. Now it's a refuge for preservation, recreation, and education. Two days ago, we went to the Blowing Rocks Nature Preserve to watch waves pound against a limestone reef. But it was low tide, so we didn't see anything. Today, the 20th, we went back at high tide. But the high tide wasn't very high, so it barely reached the rocks and the performance was lacking. There was some action, however, so we hung around for more than an hour waiting for the big one to come, and it almost never did come. Certainly didn't come while the camera was running. So we invested our time with little returns, except that a roiled up sea is endlessly fascinating. With apologies to the Nature Conservancy for intellectual property theft, this is how the blowing rocks are supposed to perform. In the intervening 2 years since this video was made, we've tried repeatedly to see the blowing rocks blow with our own eyes. And finally we did, but at the expense of a near run-in with the law. High tide and high surf came together only after the beach had closed. We sneaked onto the beach and parked illegally. The sheriff did not appreciate our desperation to see the phenomenon, but he let us off without a citation. "Get marching," he said, and we came away with the pictures we sought. And here they are.